If they ignore you and distance themselves, do these 7 things. Stoicism. You sent the message. You waited. Hours passed, then days, and the silence grew louder than any argument ever could. Someone you valued, someone you made room for in your life, is slowly stepping back, and you can feel it in every unanswered call and every excuse that arrives a little too late. It hurts in a quiet way, doesn't it? Not like a betrayal you can point to, but like a door closing so slowly you keep telling yourself it might still be open. So what do you do when someone ignores you and pulls away? Do you chase them? Do you beg? Or is there another way, a way that lets you keep your dignity intact no matter what they decide? The Stoics faced rejection, exile, and abandonment 2,000 years ago, and they left us a map. Here are 7 things to do when someone distances themselves from you. The first thing. Accept what you cannot control. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who became one of the greatest teachers in Rome, built his entire philosophy on one distinction. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Our own judgments, our choices, our responses, these are up to us. Other people's opinions, their affection, their attention, these are not, and they never were. When someone ignores you, your mind screams that you must fix it, that you must win them back. But their heart is not your territory. You cannot govern it any more than you can govern the weather. Imagine a friend who stops inviting you out. You can reach out once, honestly and openly. But whether they respond warmly or coldly is entirely their domain. The moment you truly accept this, something strange happens. The panic loosens its grip. You stop fighting a battle that was never yours to fight, and you place your energy where it actually belongs, on yourself. Number 2. Do not chase. There is a quiet law of human dignity that the Stoics understood deeply. What you chase, you place above yourself. Epictetus warned his students that the price of grasping for external things is always the same: you hand over your freedom. When you send the 3rd unanswered message, when you rearrange your schedule hoping to run into someone who is avoiding you, you are trading your self-command for a scrap of attention. Think about what chasing actually says. It says, your approval matters more to me than my own composure. And here is the hard truth: chasing rarely works anyway. People sense desperation the way animals sense fear, and it pushes them further away. So make your feelings known once, with clarity and without drama. I value you, and I've noticed distance between us. Then stop. Stand still. Let the silence be theirs to fill or not fill. A person who must be pursued to stay was already halfway gone. Number 3. Redirect that energy back to yourself. Every hour you spend refreshing your phone is an hour stolen from your own life. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman world, reminded himself constantly not to waste his remaining time wondering about what others were doing or thinking, unless it served some genuine good. Why? Because attention is life. Where your attention goes, your days go with it. So take all that energy you were pouring into decoding their behavior, and pour it into something that builds you. Picture a man whose closest friend drifted away after 20 years. Instead of spiraling, he signs up for the marathon he always postponed. He calls his brother more. He reads in the evenings instead of scrolling. 6 months later, he is stronger, calmer, and more interesting than he has ever been. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. The obstacle became the way. Their absence created a space, and he filled it with his own growth. Number 4. Examine your judgments about what their silence means. The Stoics taught that we are never disturbed by events themselves, but by the opinions we form about them. Epictetus said it plainly: it is not things that trouble us, but our judgments about things. When someone ignores you, the event is simple: they did not respond. Everything else is a story your mind wrote. They think I'm worthless. Everyone eventually leaves me. I must have done something terrible. Are any of those actually true? You don't know. Maybe they are drowning in their own struggles. Maybe they are ashamed of something that has nothing to do with you. Maybe they simply changed, as people do. Practice what Marcus Aurelius practiced, strip events down to their bare facts. Say only, they have been quiet for 2 weeks. Nothing more. Notice how much lighter that feels than the catastrophe your imagination built. You cannot stop the first sting, but you can refuse to sharpen the knife yourself. Number 5. Keep your standards, no matter how they behave. Here is where many people fail. They get ignored, so they turn cold. They get excluded, so they gossip. They meet silence with cruelty and call it justice. Marcus Aurelius held himself to a different rule: the best revenge is to be unlike the one who caused the injury. If someone treats you carelessly, that is a statement about their character. If you respond carelessly, that becomes a statement about yours. So remain the person you decided to be. Stay warm where warmth is deserved. Stay honest. Greet them kindly if you cross paths, not because you are pretending nothing happened, but because kindness is your standard, not a reward you hand out based on their behavior. Imagine seeing them at a gathering after months of silence. You nod, you smile, you wish them well, and you move on to enjoy your evening. No performance. No frost. Just a person whose character does not bend to the weather of other people's moods. Number 6. Let their actions reveal who they are. Words are cheap, and silence, strangely enough, is a kind of speech. The Stoics were relentless observers of human character, and Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that people show you what they value by what they repeatedly do. So instead of agonizing over what their distance means about you, watch what it reveals about them. Someone who vanishes when your life gets complicated has told you exactly how much weight your friendship can bear. Someone who only appears when they need something has shown you the shape of their affection. This is not bitterness. This is information. A woman notices that her friend of 10 years only calls when she wants a favor, and goes quiet the moment support is needed in return. Painful? Yes. But also clarifying. Now she knows where to invest her loyalty and where to simply be polite. Accept people as they show themselves to be, not as you wish they were. Reality, seen clearly, is a gift. Number 7. Be prepared to walk away in peace. Epictetus gave his students a striking image. Life is like a banquet. Dishes are passed around the table. When something comes to you, take your portion with gratitude. When it passes by, or is taken away, do not lunge after it. Release it with grace. People, too, are passed to us for a season, and sometimes the season ends. Walking away in peace does not mean slamming the door or delivering a dramatic farewell speech. It means quietly accepting that this chapter may be closing, and being genuinely okay if it does. It means loosening your grip without hardening your heart. Say to yourself, I was glad to have them at my table. If they return, the door is not locked. If they don't, my life remains full. That is the difference between losing someone and losing yourself. The first is sometimes unavoidable. The second is always a choice. So here is where it all lands. Someone ignoring you is a test, but not the test you think. It is not a test of whether you are lovable. It is a test of whether you can hold on to yourself when someone else lets go. Accept what was never in your control. Refuse to chase. Build your own life with the energy you reclaim. Question the dark stories your mind invents. Keep your standards when others drop theirs. Read people's actions honestly. And if the time comes, walk away without hatred in your chest. Notice what is missing from this list. Revenge. Games. Bitterness. The Stoics never taught us to punish those who leave. They taught us something far more powerful, to become so grounded in our own character that no one's silence can shake it. Your worth was never up for a vote. It never required their attention to be real. Stand in that truth, calmly and completely, and you will find that whether they come back or stay gone, you have already won the only battle that matters.